Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Yes, finally, the crisis has been ended. We have won a game of football. Manchester City 2, Brighton 1. The crisis is over. Erling Braut Haaland, the drought is over. He has scored again. God, thank you for this great day. Everyone can calm down. The rival fans can relax. And just let's get back to football again. But yeah, Saturday, 3:00 kickoff, Manchester City versus Brighton on the back of a 2-game losing streak. Manchester City were hoping to get back on track. The typical City inside us was saying maybe Brighton could come to the Etihad and cause an upset. So, yeah, it was going to be very interesting to see. This Saturday, it was a bit different for me. Instead of being in the South Stand with the lads, having a chicken balti pie and watching everyone ballooning in the 115 bar, I was invited by Asahi, the Japanese lager company at City, to go in the Tunnel Club. I thought originally it was a box. When I got my ticket, it was a Tunnel Club. So I've never been in a Tunnel Club before. And yeah, I'll be honest, it's not my cup of tea, but I've experienced it. And for corporate hospitality, as far as corporate hospitality goes, it's probably the best I've ever been in. We were in the Tunnel Club Premium. We went in there. We managed to go upstairs when the players arrived and the players walked through the bar and stuff. The food was 5-course meal, you know, as much food and drink as you wanted, things like that. The staff were brilliant. Big shout out to a young lad on my table called Charlie, who was excellent, really well. Manchester City staff in that Tunnel Club were really good. Even the young boy, it was his first day in the Tunnel Club and he spilt a tray of beers on our table. But, you know, we know the game. Don't worry, mate. It's character building. But no, we enjoyed it. There's a little section you can go out on the pitch before the game where the players warm up and you can watch that. And it's just football from a different view. You know what I mean? It's not for me. There's no atmosphere there. Obviously, it's corporate. It's just not for me. But I enjoyed it. I always wanted to go there. I always wanted to experience it. It's very, very expensive. I tried the Asahi 0% lager because I don't drink. I don't even drink them 0% because some of them have got a little bit of alcohol in them, but this is literally 0.0%. And to be honest, I had a bit of it and I enjoyed it. And that's not because they invited me. If it was shit, I'd turn around and say, you know what, fair play for inviting me, but the beer was shit. It wasn't. It was decent. It was good. And all round, I had a really good time. And anyone looking for a corporate hospitality thing, if you want a one-off, like a very special occasion, or just to watch football in a different surrounding, or maybe impress a businessman or something, that Tunnel Club is quite special for that. You know what I mean? You can see the glass where the players are walking past, and Pep was doing his interview, and everyone in the restaurant can see him. It was weird. It was weird, but no, it was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, got to the game. The lineup was announced. A couple of surprises in it. Johnny Stones was back in. Doku was starting. Edison was dropped. Diaz was dropped. You're looking at the Brighton team, pretty much what you'd expect. And yeah, bring it on. The game started and Man City started so well. Jeremy on the left was frightening. I thought he gave him a torrid time. James Milner probably wished he'd retired after facing him for a half. Jeremy was on it non-stop, cutting in onto his right foot, going outside on his left foot. He's a bit eccentric. You just don't know what you're going to get from him. He's so exciting. You know, you get him on the ball and you can feel the stadium. The atmosphere lifts. You're waiting for something to happen. Very refreshing to see. Obviously, we got Jack Grealish on that side, usually, who's a totally different option. So Pep's got two options to choose from. Some games you're going to prefer Jack, who's playing in a system. He's got a job to do. And some games you're going to think, just let Jeremy go and let him just cause chaos. But the first goal came from Jeremy. Doku, great turn to get to the byline, pulls it back. Julian Alvarez He sort of misses it onto his standing foot, loops over the keeper and in. And to be honest, what a season Julian Alvarez is having. Fantastic season. Last season, he wasn't getting much game time, but he was contributing with the goals. This season, he's playing a lot of games. He was popping up in and around the pockets, getting involved, laying the ball off, just movement and just being a general nuisance. The ball comes in the box and he's there and he finished. You know what I mean? We're taking it. We're 1-0 up. We needed it. The crowd got a bit of a lift. But we absolutely dominated. We dominated the play. Brighton was struggling to get out of their own half. City were piling forward. Jeremy on the left. I have to call him Jeremy. I don't know why I can't call him Doku, but Jeremy on the left just seemed to be in acres of space every time. Had a free run at Milner. Milner was just getting twisted in and out, sent for hot dogs left, right, and centre. And yeah, we were 1-0 up. And then little mistake by Baleba, was it, for Brighton? I think he sort of mishit it. Gives it to Erling Haaland about 25 yards out. Erling turns, runs at the goal, tees it up nicely, just on the edge of the box. Bang, shot, hard and low, bottom corner, 2-0. Erling Haaland, all is forgiven. The crisis is over. The goal drought has ended. You're still the top scorer, 9 in 9, but, you know, the rest of the world are having a meltdown. Fantastic goal, Erling Haaland. So we're 2-0 up in 30-odd minutes. I think, you know, you're thinking, job done, no problem. Do not look like Brighton are getting in the game. Happy days. Half time, goes down to the Tunnel Club, enjoys me vol-au-vents or whatever he was, with onion on him and lettuce and whatever it is. Thinking, no problem, 2-0 up, happy days, routine win. Come out the second half, Brighton changed the system a little bit. They took Milner off because he was having a torrid day. They brought in a few more offensive players. And Brighton second half looked a little bit livelier. I think Matoma, the Japanese kid, is a sensational player. I think he's really, really dangerous. And I think he's someone that City could look at in the future because I think he's great. They brought on Ansu Fati, who's well respected at Barcelona. And it was Ansu that got the goal. You know what I mean? City switched off again second half. We wasn't quite as offensive as the first half. We were making a couple of silly sloppy mistakes. We gifted them a goal. And we opened the door for Brighton to get back in it. And towards the end of the match, we were holding on a little bit. Kanji went into midfield. He got booked earlier on. And then the second booking was just a joke. He pulled him back. It's a booking. You can't get away from it. He's been sent off now. So we went down to 10 men. He brought on Nathan Ake to shore it up. I wouldn't say we were holding on at the end. I just think we had to control the game and get the win. We controlled it. We got the win, 3 points. And yeah, it was good to get 3 points back on the board against a tough opposition. But overall, I think it was a decent enough game. We got the win. We controlled the majority of the game. But it just worries you that we're not finishing teams off a little bit. When you go 2-0 up after 30-odd minutes, you're thinking maybe we could put 4 or 5 past these. I think last season we would have done it. It brought Jack on near the end, slow it all down a little bit. And obviously it's hard when Jack comes on now after Doku because people see Jeremy roasting people and then Jack comes on, it's very slow, keeping the ball and all that. They don't understand that that's what he's told to do. They're thinking, why is Grealish not roasting the fullback? And it's just what we're going to see. We've got 2 different kinds of left wingers now. You know, one's very fast, explosive, dynamic, who we all, you know, expect mad things from. One's, you know, calm, cool on the ball, brings players to him, attracts fouls, you know, he plays in the system. So Pep's got a couple of good options there. He is starting to get this debate between Doku and Grealish online. I've seen it. I'm not part of it, to be honest. I don't really buy into it. But it's more about the options. At least we've got a couple of decent options. For Alvarez played well again. Rodri in the middle of the park, we know what he's about. We just look a totally different animal of a team with Rodri in the middle. We've got a big week coming up this week. We've got Young Boys away on Wednesday. and we've got the Swamp on Sunday, the Swamp Dwellers, you know. And I watched their game against Sheffield United, and if we don't beat them, then there's something wrong, because, you know, last season away, obviously the Rashford Bruno ref incident, which was a joke, but it didn't really mean anything towards the end. The game that we needed to win against them, we won. But I'm looking at going there on Sunday and flattening them. I'm being honest. I hope Pep's got the same level of ruthlessness and just goes there with a freedom to go at them. Foden, again, weekend, playing out on that right, I think is his best position for me. I think we've tried the middle thing, it didn't quite work. I thought playing for England on the right, playing for City on the right, I think that's where, in my opinion, Foden's going to end up. I think he played really well. He was always on the front foot when he got the ball, receiving it on the front foot and attacking. That's how I like to see Phil Foden play. So yeah, we've got a big week coming up. Another win against Young Boys in the middle of the week will probably secure qualification. So that's great news to do that. And then all eyes are on Old Trafford weekend. And speaking of Old Trafford, during the half-time period, there was some sad news that broke that Sir Bobby Charlton had passed away. It's not been a good week for Manchester football. We lost Franny Lee. We lost Sir Bobby. Very, very sad. Growing up in Manchester as a kid, Bobby Charlton, even though he was from a different generation to us, his name was always about, because they had the Sir Bobby Charlton football schools that used to come into your school. My dad would never let me go to it because it was Bobby's, and he used to get a certificate off Man United. So I never went, but a lot of my friends did. And I remember them coming back from summer school. They've been to Bobby Charlton football schools and all that. But for the older generation in Manchester, Bobby Charlton was a special man. You know what I mean? He survived the Munich air disaster. He went on to lift the European Cup for Manchester United, and he went on to win the World Cup with England. He also won a Ballon d'Or. So when you look at Man United and their history and the players they've had, he is arguably the biggest player they've had in their history, in my opinion. To be part of the air disaster, to climb out of a wreckage, win the European Cup, and then go and win the World Cup in '66 and then a Ballon d'Or, you've got to respect it. I've woke up today to every newspaper in the land slagging Manchester City fans off because 4 or 5 arseholes in the South Stand or wherever it was singing stupid, vile chants about Bobby Charlton. I believe these kids are 13, 14-year-old. They don't understand it. It's no excuse. I've been around football a long, long time. I've probably sang things in the past that I would never sing again. I've heard people sing things in the past because you grow up. There's a time when you grow up and you realise that there's no place for that in football. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them chants that we talk about when I was young were pretty rife at Main Road and stuff like that. As I've got older, I don't tend to see or hear much about that anymore. You know what I mean? We have Liverpool fans getting abuse. We've had young Bradley Lowry getting abuse the other week. So there's definitely an undercurrent of bad, sourness at football these days that, these young kids need to be educated. I believe Manchester City are going to ban them. I believe Manchester City are going to hit them hard. But they need some sort of education, at the end of the day. We've got a derby coming up. The newspaper's steering it up. Isn't going to do anyone any good. 3 or 4 idiots do not determine a full fan base. I'm sorry, they don't. A lot of Man City fans and YouTubers and people I know have paid respect to Bobby on their social media, me included. I'm going down to Old Trafford to film for Manc Talk, so I will drop off some flowers on behalf of Manchester City supporters to the statue, the Trinity statue there. But we played Man United a few years ago on the anniversary of the Munich air disaster, and the papers and then the online tried to whip that up into a frenzy. On the day of the game, the uttermost respect was paid by both clubs. And there's a video out there you can see of Sir Alex Ferguson coming over to the City end and clapping before the game to realise the respect. The tannoy, it came over your support. Manchester City support has been impeccable. So that's why sometimes they sing "We Are Impeccable," because it references that. But Yeah, you can get idiots in fan bases. You can, you know what I mean? You get lunatics. People say things when they're drunk and all that. It is what it is. But nowadays you're getting banned for it. Is it worth it? No. Is it worth sitting at home watching it on the TV because you said something daft? No. Anyway, them people will be caught. The rest of Manchester City fans are getting tarnished with this brush. It's definitely not the majority of Man City fans, not at all. A lot of people would call it out. But I hope they get done and put to bed and they get educated. That's all I'm going to say. But from me and my viewers on my channel, and for a young lad growing up in Manchester with a lot of Reds, rest in peace to Sir Bobby. I'm sure both Manchester clubs will pay tribute on Sunday, and you'll see the real side of Manchester Sunday in the derby. That's what I think anyway. But other than that, people, it's been a relatively uneventful game. Manchester City 2, Brighton 1. We're back in winning ways. Look out on my channel this week. We've got some Manchester United derby previews coming up. We'll have the young boys reaction. Mank Talk, which is now on the Big Six channel. Me and Saeed are going to do a Derby Day preview, a live filmed one. So make sure you tune in for that. We've got City Extra on Monday nights, the Big Steve Show. Make sure you tune in for that. And listen, at the end of the day, it's a big week. We're back in winning ways. We can qualify for the Champions League or thereabouts on Wednesday. And we've got Man United at the Swamp on Sunday. We've got to be ruthless. Don't be going to that Old Trafford any other way of thinking we've got to put these away. That is how I'm thinking. That is what I'm seeing. And there's no better win or place to win than at Old Trafford. I believe I'm working for Manchester City that day. I don't know what we're doing. Might be on the pitch doing the pre-match. I'm not sure. But I'll be definitely in that away end cheering on the boys. But anyway, people, thanks for watching my video again. Please, can you hit the like button? The algorithm has done me a bit because I haven't been active, so I could do with as many likes as we can. Please comment below your thoughts on the Doku Grealish debate. Comment below on the young boys. Do you reckon we're going to beat them? And your predictions for the Manchester derby this Sunday. Shall City go there, make it look easy? Or will United raise the game like City used to do and they're going to come at us? You know what I mean? It is what it is. But anyway, thanks a lot. See you soon. Big up the Tunnel Club Blues, the 0.0% acai drinking Blues. It was good, but I'm back in the South Stand next game. Come on, City.